Hey legends, welcome along to Here's Rodder's Reviews. I'm your host Rodney Stewart, and Clerks 3, we've got the trailer for it right now, and I am, and I have been, a Kevin Smith fan from the mid-90s. Like, I think Clerks was only out maybe a year and a half whenever I first seen it, and it's one of these movies that myself, as someone that's genuinely interested in indie film myself, not that I've had any success in it whatsoever, but someone that has that passion for the similar sort of thing, Clerks is always a go-to movie for me when it comes to writing my own stuff. It's very much an inspiration whenever I have an idea to at least write something, to go and watch that movie, because it is really it's the story of someone that tried and won, essentially, as far as Kevin Smith goes. Now, whether you love the man or hate the man, he does deserve credit for some of the stuff that he's done over the years. Brilliant. But and of course Clerks 2 came around. We all thought that was a bit of a gamble at the time as well, and it turned out to be a great movie. But for me, I want to see this been a success. Clerks 3, don't get me wrong, a lot of respect for Kevin Smith and the movies that he's done, and even the stuff that he's doing today. Masters of Universe Revelation, loved that as well. But it's one of these things where, and to get into the trailer itself, it doesn't hide anything, puts it right out there exactly what the movie is. We get to see Dante and Randall again. It's going to be great just to even get on, check on those guys and see where they're at in their lives at this point. But the fact that they're making their own movie in this movie, it's an interesting concept, don't get me wrong, but it's a very big gamble. As I say, being a Smith fan, I've been following his podcasts on and off as best I can, and I tend to be very much in the loop with a lot of the stuff that he's doing. And I did hear about the concept of this movie quite a long time ago, so seeing the trailer was good to see it, but I wasn't shocked when I seen it. I knew exactly what he was planning, where he was going to go with it, and it's just seeing how it plays out at this stage. So Jeff Anderson is back as Randall. He has always been the guy that has, he's excellent as Randall. Like, at this point, nobody else could play that character. But after Clerks came out, it was an uphill struggle to get him to be involved in anything. He very nearly turned down Clerks 2, and I think it was a bit of a mission to get him involved for this one as well. But the fact that he's back means he is convinced that the script is good enough for the movie. Yes, Brian O'Halloran is back as Dante as well, and we get Elias in here, and he just sounds exactly the same as he did in Clerks 2. So they're back at the convenience store. No shock there, that's where Clerks 2 ended at. They bought the convenience store. Quick Stop reopened it themselves. So yes, Rosario Dawson is back as Becky as well in this movie, and Ben Affleck is in there. To what extent, we don't know at this point, but it's almost as if from the trailer he's one of the people that is auditioning for the movie that Randall's going to be making in this movie. It's pretty much based around Smith himself once again. Famously had a heart attack, almost died, so he's written that into the script, where Randall has a heart attack and he starts to freak out that, what have I done with my life? We're sitting about watching the same old movies, and Dante's like, I always thought you would have made a good movie. So he decides to actually make a movie himself in this movie. So what they're doing is And it's in there. Inconvenience, as in the trailer. That's the name of the movie that they're making within this movie. And the movie that they're making is essentially the original Clerks movie. So in Clerks 3, the two characters are making Clerks 1 themselves. So it is, it's right up Smith Street. It really is. Like, there's no major shocks coming along in this movie. But yes, and there's a point there where you see at the end, coming up towards the end of the trailer, that there's a guy pulling a gun, and Randall's like, the last act of the movie is, I'm going to have you shot at the end of the film. Like Dante's character, or the character based on Dante, is going to get shot at the end of the movie. Now, that's in there simply because that's originally how Clerks ended off. The first cut that was sent out, to the best of my knowledge and memory of the whole thing, had the point, if the last shot of the original Clerks movie, the day's over, Randall's about to go home, he's leaving the store, and of course there's the big sheet hanging outside the store that says, I assure you, we are open. Randall comes in with that rolled up, and he throws it at Dante, and he says, you're finished for the day, sort of deal. And Dante walks across towards the camera and out of shot, and it cuts to black. We get the credits. But originally it went on from there, and a guy came in to rob a store. Dante originally died at the end of the original Clerks movie, but Smith was told, that's a terrible ending, just ended off a little bit more upbeat than that there. So he basically trimmed off the end of the movie and just started the credits sooner, so that's why it finishes the way it does. But it's interesting to see that concept been brought into Clerks 3 and the Inconvenience movie that they're making in there. Now, my personal thoughts on the whole thing, like I have said, that I've been a big fan from pretty much a couple of years into Smith's career, but I do genuinely have to say that these characters are very much products of their time in a way. Clerks and Clerks 2 worked and was successful because it was all in and around the time where these characters were originally based and created, let's just say. And I'm going to make a comparison between Clerks and the Bill and Ted movies, because I genuinely feel that it could go the same way. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Clerks, two movies that if I come across them, I have to watch them. I cannot sidestep them. Doesn't matter where I'm seeing them at. They could be on TV, or I could simply just pass by this shelf right here and get a glimpse of Clerks or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and I actually have to lift the DVD, switch it on, and watch it. Doesn't matter what time of the day or night it is what it is, they have to be watched. Clerks 2 and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, two excellent films, got a lot of love for them, but I can pass by the two of them. Absolutely love them, but Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey isn't as good as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Clerks 2, as much as I enjoy the movie, isn't as good as the original one in my opinion. So we're the first two I have to watch. The next two I can pass them by. Now, Bill and Ted Face the Music, I have watched that movie one time only, and I can't see me watching it again anytime soon. I don't think it worked. The characters just seemed too far out of their comfort zone, let's just say, and I kind of fear that the same thing's going to happen. Dante and Randall and Clerks 3, I don't know if it's the time anymore for them, and I'm sorry to say that, I really am, because I do enjoy the universe that they come from, everything that they've built. Now, what Smith is strong at doing is visiting the characters in their current time frame, but I kind of feel that we may have missed the mark on this one. I don't know. I genuinely want to see this movie succeed and be successful. And I'm going to be there to check it out anyway, no matter what happens. But it does have to be said that Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, as much as I enjoyed that movie, I don't think it hit home quite as hard and as good as any of the other movies up to that point. And I don't know, I think we're just getting too far away from the 90s culture and the early 2000s, where these movies were in their prime, was the sort of stuff that we all enjoyed. It's a tough one. It's a really tough one, but I enjoyed the trailer. It's going to be interesting to check it out. But I'm just hoping that, yes, it doesn't turn out to be a bad idea. Because, I don't know, it's the concept of them making the movie Clerks as their own movie within Clerks Free. I don't know, it just feels that we're not going to get as personal a story this time. I could be totally wrong, hopefully I am. But Clerks and Clerks 2 had some real good moments in it because it was really personal to the two main characters in the movie. And of course, Randall has a heart attack in this movie and he's trying to do something to make his life worthwhile. Pretty personal story, but maybe not just as personal as the other stuff that we've seen up to this point. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. It kind of makes sense to me. Whether I've been able to articulate it in words is another story entirely. So let me know your thoughts in the comments of this video, or if you're listening on the podcasts, jump into the comments there as well, and do all the good social media stuff for me. Get subscribed and share this crap along, and yes, I will talk to you in the next one.